everyone. Hello. I am dressed up today. As you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion. Although we'll be talking about this album, if you know, you know. Another day, I wanted to talk about stuff that I actually know about. Oh my god, please stop making noise in the background. The last video was embarrassing. So today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite albums ever, if not, I think, probably my favorite album of all time. Pretty.Odd. Pretty.Odd. This album, by the way, if you look very closely, what do you see that? What? You can't really see it because it was made with a very bad marker. Hold on. Oh no, you really can't see it, but Ryan Ross indented this with a pen. He graced my album with a pen. And I'm so normal about that fact. I'm really not normal about that fact. I don't think I'll ever be normal about that fact. Ryan Ross put his arm around my shoulder, and I think that healed a wound that was there from the 8th grade. Not all of them, but one of them. Anyway, let's continue. Pretty.Odd. If you know anything about Panic at the Disco, they are labeled an emo album and emo band. If you think of emo bands, the emo trinity would come up. That is such chronically online thing from the year, when was I? Because I've been chronically online all my life, but when was I in middle school? I forgot, but that's neither here nor there. So let's actually talk this one. But before that, let me just mention they were an emo band, and A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. Oh my god, I really hope my sister stopped talking, but whatever. I can't control that. Anyways, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out had a more rock sound. A lot of people like to push the album off as pretentious. I think those people are really fucking miserable. You have to remember that these were high schoolers, and regardless of the fact the songs hit, it is a hit after hit. I don't give a fuck. It's what I'm saying. Album still slaps. So I don't know if my next video is gonna be in defense of A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, but you know, that's my thing. I'm just pointing out the differences with that album. So whereas that one had a very much like a rock kind of sound, just think everything that was coming out within the year 2005, like in the pop punk scene. Yeah, that kind of thing. And so that's why when this bad boy dropped, I think it is one of the most ambitious pieces of work ever. And I don't want anyone to tell me otherwise. Actually, no one can tell me otherwise. No one's gonna tell me otherwise. I don't care. I don't care. Anyways, as I was saying, the album's sound is really more like I've seen it described as like a baroque kind of pop rock. I mean, pop rock is kind of like what they've always been, what Panic at the Disco has always been, even though with Viva Las Vengeance, Viva La Vile, that's what I call that album. Really, I didn't like it, that's all. But if you enjoyed it, I'm going to judge you, but that's really not my business. It's okay to enjoy bad things. Sorry. I forgot a lot of people still fuck with Brendan Urie. I don't have an opinion on Brendan Urie. I do have an opinion on that solo career, but Pretty.Odd. Baroque pop and more folk rock. So the way I like to see it is take the Beatles, the Beach Boys. These are the two bands, right? And now I could say, imagine that they had sex and had a baby, and that's Pretty.Odd. I want to actually add in one more that I feel this way, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I probably am, but I really don't care. So the Beatles, the Beach Boys, and Queen had a threesome, and the Beatles had a baby. They don't know who the father is. That is the situation you get here with Pretty.Odd. I love this album so much. So much. So much. There's just a level of whimsy that I really enjoy with this album. Everything is just so beautiful. You really just have to sit down and ask yourself, what drugs created this sound? This is not the work of a sober individual at all. This is not the work of an individual that has no idea what psychedelics are, but most definitely the work of an individual who knows who the Beatles are and things like that. It's a nice change from the original, sound, which I'm just saying original sound as in A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. I'm not saying that A Fever You Can't Sweat Out is bad. I really love that album too, but like Pretty.Odd, if I were to rank all the Panic at the Disco albums, Pretty.Odd is just at the top. Now, I hate to say it, but it is the fact. It didn't do too well at the time, or maybe it did, but it did not do nearly as well as A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, which is kind of a shame because of the marketing that was actually put into it. It was kind of fun. Kind of. They released a snippet in like 2007 of 9 in the Afternoon, which that's like one of the principal songs. Actually, it is the principal song of this album. Like, if you want to get a sense of the sound and the things like that and kind of what to expect with this album, 9 in the Afternoon is where you gotta go. Kind of. If I really wanted to pinpoint like a specific song, because each song is different for the most part, I feel like it's weird. It's weird. There's really no song that sounds exactly alike, but there is a certain vibe, and I feel like one specific song encapsulates that vibe the best. And that song would have to be, let me just, God, before I, it is between The Piano Knows Something I Don't Know and Northern Downpour. Northern Downpour is such a beautiful song. I still cry to this day. So anyways, the marketing for this album, by the way, snippet in 2007, November of 2007, and then they had a weird little MySpace thing where it was just puzzles of the lyrics to, I believe, the opening song, We're So Starving. It's just kind of like a play on the words, like, We're So Sorry, which is because they're apologizing. It is literally the introduction song to the album saying, we are so sorry for being gone so long. We're the same band, which is kind of funny because they broke up immediately after this album hit. Like, by the next year they were broken up. They split ways because of creative differences. But that's kind of funny. No, it's not funny. It's fucked up. We got a My Chemical Romance reunion before we got a Panic at the Disco reunion, which, I mean, that's cute, that's fun or whatever, but like, anyway, that's what the puzzle had to do with. Now, We're So Starving is not my favorite song. In fact, I would rank that song pretty fucking low. I'm sorry, not that it's bad. When I rank something low when it comes to Pretty.Odd, just know it's better than literally anything else dropped by Panic at the Disco, because this album does reign supreme. I love this album. This album. Anyways, I am into different sounds. I would say I have a really diverse music taste. Yes, that even includes country. I will let some country slide because a lot of that shit is good. Okay. Which is, there's a little hint of that in this, just a little bit. Not country. It's more folk, if anything. Sometimes the two blur the lines, or maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. But anyways, the arrangements in this specific album it's so impressive. I was listening to it in the car with my boyfriend, and he was like, did they compose that? And I was like, yes, like a liar, because they didn't compose it. They knew more or less what they wanted the sound to be like. Good lord, I bit my tongue. But the producer, I believe his name was Rob Mates. I'm butchering this man's last name. But he is the one who arranged an orchestra. Good lord, arranged an orchestra and kind of how it wanted to sound. They wanted it to sound like. Of course, it was a whole collaborative thing. The songs that kind of like show these things, if you want like examples of them, it's gonna be She Had the World. Good lord, let me actually refresh my brain. She Had the World, The Piano Knows Something. No, wait. No, it's not The Piano Knows Something. I don't know. Oh, From a Mountain in the Middle of the Cabins. My brain is warping a lot of these songs. So She Had the World, From Mountain in the Middle of the Cabins. And kind of Do You Know What I'm Seeing? It's just, it's a whole lot of different instruments, and I love it. It sounds so peaceful. When you listen to it, every time I try to explain this album and why it's probably the best Panic at the Disco album, correction, it is the best Panic at the Disco album. I really feel like that Nicki Minaj video where she's just like you need to listen to it 3 times, and the third time you're gonna be like, whoa, what is it? Like it I understood it the first time because I'm a real ass bitch, but a lot of y'all can't relate to that, and that's not my problem anymore. Like, that really is just something you have to take up with God. You have to get on your knees and ask yourself, God, why am I not a real ass bitch? Of course, you can't really curse when you're praying, but the thought is still there. Why am I not genuine? And he's just gonna look at you and say, I don't know. Because this is the best album ever, actually. I felt like such an idiot opening this up and then having Ryan Ross sign it. Like, can y'all see that? Dog, he was probably like, I don't even see my own signature in this. And like, you could see a scribble. Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm not imagining that. And I have a picture of us together. I'm not showing that picture. That shit is so embarrassing. How did I'm a woman. I let that man outmug me. But it's okay. I was swelling that day. Anyway, I'm here to talk about the sound, and I'm off having a fucking face card off with Ryan Ross, which is kind of fucking funny to put it in those terms, but I digress. I really hate that they broke up because of it. Creative differences. Dog, I'm sorry, that is so frustrating. And the fact that I need a drink. I need to smoke something, because this is actually pissing me off. Now, the more that I think about it, it's pissing me off. Like, at this point, I really do understand, like, creative differences. No. That's just not all right for me. Like, at all. Like, that don't even sound right. Like, I refuse to accept it. No wonder bitches in 2017 were convinced that, like, Brendan Urie and Ryan Ross were just having really gay sex, and, like, really gay sex, just gay sex, and things ended horribly, and that's why they don't talk. Like, I would rather they be fucking than we not get shit like this anymore over creative differences. I'm speaking fucking facts right now. Like, this album is a genuine masterpiece. I'm really not good at discussing the sounds, and also just it's so fucking good, like the lyricism of it all. But really, do you know who we have to thank for the lyricism? Look at that signature. Look at that signature. Look at that signature. Look at that signature. Read it again. And if you can't see it, open your eyes and look closer. Ryan Ross. I should specify, a lot of the songs were a collaboration between all 4 band members. But if you look at who has credits for each individual song, it's Ryan Ross. I've tried to do songwriting before because if I can sing and I can't dance, I should at least know how to write a fucking song. It's just a pile of shit from an asshole, like fresh out the hole. Like that's really what I get. So I don't understand how someone can write something so good. Like, yeah, like it is just beautiful. Brendan Urie did write 2 songs, by the way, and I don't have an opinion on Brendan Urie, but I have to judge. I don't even want to listen to people that's vengeance. Like, dog, imagine day 1 of Pride Month, Brendan Urie drops this album. It terrorized Pride Month that year. It really did. I personally, on the first song, I was out. Clocked out. I quit. That was the day that I actually stopped listening to Panic at the Disco. And then I got right back into it again because I forgot just how good this album is. It is so beautiful. And by the way, the music videos never disappointed. And how many music videos? There's 3. There's 3 music videos, I believe. 9 in the Afternoon. Of course, 9 in the Afternoon had to get one because that was just like the main song of the album. Okay. Northern Downpour. And That Green Gentleman, Things Have Changed. Cameron Boyce is in that music video. Just info dumping at this point, but oh my god, there is something so deeply melancholic about every song. Even when you like take away the band breakup of it all, like just take that away, and there's just something so deeply sad about it. Even like the more like uplifting and somewhat joyous songs, sad. That Green Gentleman. But I kind of like that. Like, these songs do have a level of melancholy to it. But even like that goes the same for the happier ones. But ultimately, it just depends on what mood you're in, and it kind of adapts to that. Like, it's not. It's very much like a gray area about like what the actual tone of the song is. So you can listen to this shit whenever, and it'll match the mood. I think that's one of my favorite things about that. I could be super happy, I'll enjoy the hell out of the songs, but if I'm feeling a different way the next day and I listen to those songs, it's like the song kind of molds itself into what I'm feeling. It's very flexible, and I really love that, because I really fucking hate having to fucking match my mood, match my fucking playlist to my mood. Like, damn, I feel like shit. Let me just scroll on my phone and find something else to listen to. Like, I'm a lazy person. I don't want to do all that. So just, you put this bad boy in. You can experience any emotion with this. And it works. For me personally, it works. I love it so much. It is so beautifully put together. And don't even get me started on the alternate versions of the songs. Sometimes when you tone things down, they also sound really good. And I'm not just me writing. Like, you guys could just go listen to it for yourselves. I forgot what I was gonna say. God damn it. Just Pretty.Odd is such an amazing album. It is so fucking ambitious. It's I don't think anyone has ever been able to get away with the amount of genre switches. Maybe Mitski, I can think of, because her songs don't be sounding the same. And I'm forgetting who else. But like the other bands that are typically associated with Panic at the Disco, they have a very specific sound, and that's fine. Obviously, like if you're a band of a certain genre, you're going to play similar sounds. But when it comes to this one, you can do whatever and people just know it's Panic at the Disco. Even and to the direction the band took after after John and Ryan and John and Ryan left. It was still consistent in that way, with that they can get away with like switching the sound of it. There's never a specific sound to each album. You cannot sit here and tell me, oh my god, but then I'm forgetting Pray for the Wicked and Viva Las Vengeance. It's because they're more pop. That's when Panic at the Disco officially became like a pop leaning band, and that's not bad. I just wish the music was good. I'm sorry, that was bad English, but I will say, by the way, Death of a Bachelor is a good album, and I might talk about that one next. I'm talking about the ones that I actually own, like the shit I'm looking at right now behind this camera.